Yeah, happy to see you here.
Nice
always.
to be here. Yes.
We got the Tennis Europe tournament coming up in a couple of weeks, and it's nice to can ask you some questions, especially for the parents and the coaches for the Tennis Europe tournament. So, at the age under 14, we would like to know what are just for you the key factors to develop yourself as a player.
Well, I think in this age the most important is the technique. In fact, it's for me nearly 90% is technique, and the rest is perhaps tactic. Because that are the age where you can develop the most. Afterwards, you have no time anymore because then they have to play matches and more matches and more matches. So it's very important to do this.
And if you say 90% of the importance is the technique instead of something else, then you mean result orientated? Like
no, not for results. No, just that forehand, backhand, volley, serve, all are more or less perfect. So that if the player is afterwards 16, 17 years old, he can concentrate completely on the match and don't have to think about his technique anymore.
Yeah. Does that also mean, like, if you're as a tennis coach or as a tennis parent and you want to make a tournament schedule for your kid under 14, where should they look at in making the tournament schedule?
Well, I always think, till a certain age, the training is more important as the matches. And by example, till 14, I think the level should be more or less 70% training and 30% matches. When they get older, till 16, it will be level 50-50, and afterwards, when they are 16, 17, then it will be 70% matches and 30% training.
You are known as a coach who, or even more like a trainer, like a real trainer on the court with players, who brought up players from a young age onto the world rankings, and had very good results in the past with the kids. What would your advice be to a coach when they practice with the young kids regarding skills and the balance between physical training? Do they have to use the mental part, or do they have to look already after nutrition? What are the key elements for you?
Well, I think all those points are important. Nutrition is important. Of course, the physical work is important, that they have balance and this kind of things, because balance is one of the most important things in the game. And you're not born with balance, so you have to practice that. I think the most important parts are the technique, the physical work, tactics. I think in that age that's the most important.
And regarding to the Tennis Europe tournaments where they play singles, they also play doubles. And some they don't play doubles because they think it's only about singles. What do you think?
Well, in fact, I would like to play that they play doubles, and I would like if the ITF would allow them to get once in a set help from a coach, that they learn to play. Because at the moment when I see them playing, they're playing just cross the whole time. Yeah. And I think why a coach shouldn't get on the court once, just to give them some advices to play.
Yeah. So why don't you want them on the court?
Well, because I think it's not good for the kid. I think there are a lot of parents who doesn't know about tennis, who put more pressure, who in fact give them not a feeling, that they can play as they want to play. And I think it should be ridiculous when afterwards we have mothers and fathers running around on the court, and other kids perhaps they are alone, and they are sitting then there.
So you're let's say you want to see a father or a mother in a father or mother's role. That's their role, and you get the tennis coach who get the role of the tennis coach.
Well, I've seen that all the parents or all the players I had, they are always happy when, by example, the grandmother is coming.
Well, Eric, my last question. Here at Amstelpark, we work also with a lot of kids under 14, and we make always training schedules. You know, like programs, a training program. So how do you see it like for like a yearly program? What would be your idea about an ideal program for a kid under 14 during the week?
Well, I think, you know, the way you are doing it is quite good, because you have private training, you have group training. I think group training is for the young kids very nice. They like that. You know, I think it's not good when a young kid from 12 only have private training. As far as I see how you do it here with the physical training and everything, for me it's fine like that. You know?
Regarding the hours that you have to make, you know, like even the coaches and the parents, you know, they're talking sometimes a lot with each other, and you hear a lot like, well, he's playing 20 hours, and you know, they're going into the amounts, the volume of training. Do you say like this is very personal, depends on the body, but they have to play regularly every day? They have to play by themselves, always under the guidance of a coach, or how do you see that?
Of course, it's good when they can play every day, but I don't think that the hours are so important. I think for a kid from 12, 13, 14 years old, 1.5 hour, 2 hour tennis a day is more as enough. And it is the quality, I think, it's not the quantity. There are some kids, of course, the talented kid needs a little bit less hours as the kid who is not so talented, but when you see really the top 10, there are only very few real talented players, the rest are all workers. So I think the most important thing is that they like the game, you know, and that they enjoy. You have to enjoy, because otherwise practice is not fun. Yeah. They have to really have to desire to play and to be good, and just let them play, give them time. Now you have time in fact till 20, so when they are 30 years old, they have 7 more years in fact to be a professional player. They don't have to be a professional player with 16 or 17, you know, and I think that's the most important thing.